What is up, everybody? What is up? It's me. It's your boy Quamon Star G, and welcome back to our video Black History Month series interviewing Black women creatives in the industry in general. Of course, we are Muldiversity. We are all here ready to give you guys some of the best stuff y'all are going to see on this or any side of the internet. So let's go ahead and throw the introductions out there so we can get to our amazing, spectacular, show-stopping, never the same, always on point special guest. First things first, the judge, Avia Knighton.
Hello, everyone. We are going to have a great show for you today.
Absolutely.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Second, the omnipotent one himself, Mr. Odd Geek Mike.
I'm already ready. I'm excited. We have a guest, so let's get it.
Woo! Blessing us with his presence through sick and health, Mr. Aaron Michael Johnson.
I mean, I had to be here because we got the queen here. I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm sick. You can't do that, can't do that.
Yep. And of course, y'all see who's up here in the middle. You know her. You love her. Writer supreme, a person of high character, a person that just is spectacular in all of the best ways. I mean, let's just get right into it. Miss Nadria Tucker, how are you doing? And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here with y'all and talk about some TV, etc. for Black History Month. Let's do it.
Woo!
Yes. One more time.
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yes. So, just in case we have folks out there who live under a rock and somehow doesn't know who you are, would you mind letting them know who you are and what you do in your space?
Yeah, I am Nadria Tucker. I am a TV writer. You might know me from shows like Underground on WGN America. I worked on Krypton for Sci-Fi Network. I worked on Superman and Lois for CW. And my time there was kind of notorious. And right now I'm working on another historical drama show for a streaming platform that is not coming out yet, but hopefully soon. And so, I guess I'm like a genre historical fiction TV person.
That's awesome. That's truly awesome and amazing. And we are glad to have you. And I'm absolutely positive people are going to love to hear this and hear from you about the many things we're going to talk about today. So, speaking of which, Avia, kick us on off and let us know exactly what we got going on.
All right, speaking of genre, as a writer, what is your favorite genre to really dive into and go balls to the wall just like crazy? What's your favorite one?
That's a good question. I don't know. I like to switch it up, honestly. And that's why I've done so many different things, but I really do keep coming back to any type of genre. Right now I'm working on horror and I've never really done horror before. But I grew up, reading horror. I was reading, R.L. Stine books when I was a kid and then Anne Rice. And so that's always been a part of me, but I really have never written it before. So now I'm enjoying kind of getting into and it's funny because there's not a lot of horror with Black families, or Black characters, all Black. And so that's what I'm kind of diving into. Let's have a ghost story let us have a haunted house type of situation. And I know stereotypically we might, if we were in a haunted house situation, we might leave. but you gotta put that aside. Mm-hmm. And then, you can suspend disbelief and imagine Black people in a haunted house situation. And so that's what I'm enjoying currently. Just thinking about spooky stuff and stuff that would happen in your house that you wouldn't like, you know, how bad could it get before you would leave, basically.
Mhm.
That's factuals. That's factuals. Mike.
Oh, I love that you are creating a horror. I'm a big horror fan, so I wish you the best with that because I will definitely be watching and supporting that. Well, since we on the subject of horror, what's your favorite horror movie?
Oh man, Candyman, like the original Candyman,
Okay.
was probably classic. It was probably like the first movie that really just scared me. And I love horror too. And these days it takes a lot to actually scare me. But still something about like Tony Todd and the bees and the hole in the wall, like the whole thing was just so scary. And it's so good at social commentary as well. I really enjoy that kind of stuff. Another good one was the People Under the Stairs. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
Yeah.
Another really good,
another
like,
classic. Yeah.
yeah, like just Black people in spooky situations. I'm like here for that. Another one I really enjoy. God, I'm dating myself with all my picks. Let me pick a new movie.
The good ones are
Right.
the originals or in the bad so it's all good. It's all good.
Right.
I really liked Hereditary. Like recently,
Oh.
I really enjoyed that. But again, that's like, you know, small family drama, ghost story type stuff. And that's the kind of vibe I usually get into. I'm not in for a lot of gore and, you know, torture porn. Give me like a good spooky something or another.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So my question to you, Nadria, is because you worked on Underground and then you transitioned to Krypton and Superman and Lois. So what I wanted to ask is, you know, did you, going into those two projects, did you already have a foothold in the comic superhero spaces, or did you look at those two projects like new challenges, you know, something you're not familiar with, but you wanted to add your own stamp to in its creation?
Definitely the latter. And it's interesting because, like I said, I grew up reading horror. I also grew up reading like a lot of fantasy and sci-fi. Like I was just a big old nerd. And so when I got the call for Krypton, the way that they pitched it to me was like Game of Thrones in space, like really, you know, like sci-fi vibes and sort of political intrigue. And so I came at it from a sci-fi drama sort of angle, and I had to do a lot of playing catch up on the comic book front. So I was reading, like, they gave me access to, you know, all of DC Comics, and I spent time just going back and reading as much as I could, like from the, you know, super olden days, the early days, some of the bad stuff in the like 70s or whatever, and all the way through the present, just to like get a feel for these characters and how they've evolved. And so that was, you know, I worked on Krypton for 2 years. And so by the time I was done with that, I felt pretty well versed in that lore. So when I got a call for Superman and Lois, I was like, well, I worked on a show about his granddaddy, so I could probably work on a show about Superman. And, you know, again, I dove back in and did even more of the reading, focused on like the Smallville, you know, times and stories, and more the family centric vibes. But yeah, it was really just about like getting in there and seeing, like, I just felt like, okay, I could probably do it. Like, it's a challenge, something I hadn't done before, but I had done adjacent things. And I knew I'm like, I love reading. So I knew I could read up enough to at least give me a start. And one of the things that both of those shows made really clear was that they wanted people who had like comic book experience, but also people who didn't, because they wanted to be able to tell stories from different perspectives, and just have fresh brains on some of these stories that have been around for, you know, over 80 years, more than that at this point. So that was kind of fun to be on the side of, well, I don't have as much comic experience, but I can learn from people who do, and the people who do can pitch these, just keep pitching idea after idea after idea from the comics. And I can go like, well, to a normal layperson, I don't know if that makes sense, but, even though it makes sense in the comic continuity, like it might not play as well in a standalone thing. So anyway, all that to say, I enjoyed it being something slightly out of my wheelhouse, and I looked at it as a challenge.
And I'll just go on the record and say, with Krypton, that definitely helped the show. Was just from when you have somebody with a unique point of view in crafting this relatively unseen part of the lore, it definitely adds to the creativity of it and helps create something memorable. So I'm glad you came at it from that from that perspective, or else we wouldn't have gotten some of the things we got that a lot of people liked and stuck with. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to work on, especially because in that case there are not a lot of Krypton comic books. So there weren't. I know they have a new run now, but at the time there was not a lot of like World of Krypton stuff to pull from. And so it was a lot of like, okay, here's a panel with some people in headbands, and like, what are we going to turn that into for an actual television show that people want to watch?
Absolutely. Aaron?
That's the truth right there. I mean, I want to go back to that comment about Black people in spooky situations. I mean, you wrote no, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna be messy like that. Not this time. Not on this Muldiversity episode.
I mean, you could. I mean, nobody's gonna stop you.
Could.
Right.
But I mean,
Listen,
if we can talk about people,
some, like I said, how many signs can you ignore before you get out the house?
okay.
And who's going to be the last person in there before the spooky thing gets you?
Yeah.
Okay. I think yeah, especially with people that look like us, you know what I mean, specifically like Black women in Hollywood, because I've had this conversation with like everybody on multiple times, but I really want to start asking this question to people who are established in the industry more. Like, what do you think can be done to make more prominence? Because like, I don't if you saw the Academy Award nominations, not a single Black woman on the list, and it's just like, do we need to get our own? Do you think we need to demand more? Because like it's so much.
I mean, yeah, I wish I had a single very easy answer that I could implement and go out and shout it off the Hollywood sign and be like, yo, do this. But I think we're making progress. I think it's just a matter of like getting more Black people and more people of color in especially executive positions. I think that's what we need to be targeting now, because there are tons of writers who are very talented who just aren't necessarily getting the chances from some of these executives. They're acting as gatekeepers, and it's really unfortunate. But another thing is that like the people who are in the business, like myself, I just joined the Television Academy, so I'm going to get to be able to vote for the Emmys now, and so I get to have a say in who those nominees are and have my vote counted. And so the more of us that are in the voting pool, the more of us that we can hopefully see nominated in some of these things. And so again, yeah, it's just a matter of numbers, like getting the numbers up and getting more people access. But also, it's very easy to burn out in this industry and get discouraged by a lot of the bullshit that you encounter. And so I think we need to really focus on nurturing people once they get that access and keeping them, in the industry. And, realizing that we are not each other's competition. We are here to lift each other up. But sometimes we forget that, and we can get caught up in like snarky bullshit nonsense and sort of cut each other down. But yeah, I think the answer is complicated. And if I knew it, I would be so rich.
Same.
I just want to say thank you for commenting on how we don't need to be tearing each other down
Like,
because
get out of
a
that
lot
Cecil
of
Barrel mentality. Get out of that.
like
Yes.
it happens now, small, big, or even extremely big. Like it happens, and I'm so glad you touched on that because that is something that we pride on ourselves. Like help each other out. Don't tear nobody down just because they're not where you are, or you know that they're learning. Like there's a way that you can encourage somebody and either give them tips and help them along the way. But I'm thankful that you even said that. That's been on my mind for days.
Same.
I mean,
For
it's
me,
true,
yeah,
and like
true.
it's just we're living in a toxic timeline, and especially on the internet, it's very toxic. Twitter is just a toxic hellhole, and it makes people act in their worst ways. I wish we could just shake it off a little bit, and hopefully, we're coming out of the worst of the pandemic of it all. Maybe. But yeah, I think people are just stressed and acting out.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's
Yes.
true.
You said a word.
Okay,
Man.
that was a word. Like, close your
Welcome
Bible.
to the Nadria Church. The Nadria Church is
Take
right
us to
here.
church.
That sent me on a whole journey right there.
Okay.
Whew.
Hey,
That's
Sean,
not-
Dang.
you're more than welcome to
That's-
carry us home.
So I know you have aspirations of being a director. What would be your dream project or like your dream series to direct if you had a chance to?
I would love to direct. I mean, this horror thing that I'm working on. I think I would love to direct TV. Because that's just what I'm more experienced in, and I've been on TV sets, and the whole film world feels so different and just unapproachable. And even though I know it's really not, I can't imagine myself in that position yet, but I can imagine myself on a TV set because I've been there. So that's kind of what I'm eyeing at the moment. But again, like with the coronavirus of it all, it's been hard to find a way to go on set, and shadow directors and get that experience because the protocols are so tight. But I'm working on it. We'll see.
Yes.
Absolutely. Mike?
Oh. With you now dabbling with comics and, got to read a little bit and everything, would you create your own superhero character since you worked with Superman, worked with Krypton and everything like that? Would you create your own superhero character?
That's a good question. I would. I've always thought, again, like that's another space where diversity is badly needed. And I think there are plenty of stories that could be told. I have an idea or two percolating in the non-traditional superhero sense, So yeah, I would love to. I think you get to do a lot of fun stuff when you play in the world of like superpowers and things that go beyond, superhuman strength and superhuman ability to withstand bullets. And as a Black person, those things are appealing. So I get like it's the Luke Cage of it all, right? You can withstand bullets, so it doesn't matter if the police shoot at you. Wow, that took a turn. I'm sorry.
No, that's 100% on point.
You're good. That's real. That's real.
No, that's right.
real.
Yeah. Speak.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess my question is kind of a piggyback because I know you just got done talking about all of the research you had to do when you were on Krypton and Superman and Lois and all of the comic books you read. So, I mean, this might be a little milquetoast question, but, what was or is, your favorite comic book or comic you read? And why was it Justice League Power Rangers by Tom Taylor and Stephen Bryan?
It wasn't that. I will say that. It was probably, I think there was like, wasn't there a Nubia run that came out recently?
Yes.
I really enjoyed that, and I really want her to get like a series or a movie or something, because we need some seasoning in some of these superheroes. They're looking a little bland these days. And I just was like, ooh, all the braids and the hair. I was just like into it. I was like, okay, yes. So it wasn't that. It was something else.
You can just say it's one of, you can just say that, without
I'm not
actually
falling into
reading
that
the
trap, whatever it is.
See?
You know what, Mike? You always got to play your hate. You know what, Aaron? Go ahead.
Scammer. You're a scammer.
A scammer. That's
Scammer.
Aaron.
Okay,
I
so then my
apologize for
question
taking up
would
your time.
No,
Please
no,
ask your question.
I'm going to reclaim my time because I haven't said that in like forever. So I mean, how you feel about scammers? Since we're gonna talk about scammers real quick. Since Kwamani want to start like drama on. No, I'm kidding. We're not gonna be that messy.
I think we need parity in the scamming department. I'm here for black scammers.
So that means you are willing to claim this as one of your favorites.
About flipping. You gotta go back to the flipping.
Nah, we can't. We are not about to talk about flipping.
Flipping.
We're not flipping
Nadria.
nothing. We're not flipping anything.
No.
Nadria, can I interest you in a project that I am a part of? We flip money professionally.
Ooh.
I mean, I love that y'all. I gotta say, I love my MD family because they support my business ventures, and when we have guests on, they're very adamant to promote it to them so that it can help grow. So I would like to thank y'all for that. But yes, we'll talk after the show because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I support black business, so.
Period.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Aaron, please. Your question.
I'll say my question after I make this one joke that will be muted when it goes up. I'm gonna say if we supporting black scammers, then do I have a proposal for you? Let's all take DC Comics. So anyway, we muting all that. just imagine some funny music here, okay? Imagine some hilarious music here.
We'll have the uncut version on Patreon. On our Patreon. Oh man! Ask your question, Aaron, before we get the battery in our.
My super impactful, amazing question that is going to rock the foundation that none of these people thought of. Miss
Wait, what do you mean by you people? What do you mean by you people? I just wanted to get that out the way.
Exactly what I said. Because it's Black History. So I said you people. I'm going back to the days of like J. Edgar Hoover and back the words. What's your favorite TV show?
I have to consult my list here. My favorite TV show currently.
Just say
Euphoria. After Party. No, After Party is my show.
I love After Party.
Oh, yes.
I love After Party.
I've been on like an Apple TV kick because like you'll just open that app and 10 new shows are on there and you had no idea. I'm like, okay, what is all of this?
Yeah.
Why aren't y'all advertising any of this to me?
Right.
So yeah, there's some really good stuff on there. And that's what I'm watching, After Party. I won't say it's my favorite, but it's currently like the favorite thing I'm watching right now. And another show I'm watching again on Apple TV is Severance.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all have seen that one. That one is like, it's a sci-fi kind of, basically the concept is your work life and your home life are severed in your brain. So when you're at work, you don't remember your home life. And when you're at home, you don't remember your work life.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like a comedy, dramedy. It's got Adam Scott in it. It's like basically if The Office was kind of a Black Mirror type, mixed up situation. So really enjoying that. And my God, I just burned through the second season of Cheer.
Okay.
On Netflix, because I love some reality TV. Like when I watch scripted TV, sometimes it can feel like homework. because, you know, I feel like I'm always taking notes and seeing what everybody else did that's really good or what not to do. But when I watch reality TV, I'm just like, yes, like do those flips, like do them. Like, oh my God, I can't believe she took your dog. That's so sad. I can really invest.
Nadria, I'm sorry, but it's for a second it sounded like you said Cheaters, the old show, the reality show where they was catching cheaters in the
That was a classic.
I was about to freak out. Like, they brought it back. Like I was
surprised. Honestly, I would not be surprised. But no, I'm talking about Cheer with the cheerleaders and they're
yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah,
really good. I heard. I don't know if this is true, but I heard you were a fan of Drag Race.
Yes, I am a fan of Drag Race. I just am in the middle of the latest episode. I don't know who wins or gets kicked off. Like I stopped it right before the lip sync.
Okay.
So don't say anything. But yes, I am a fan. And we make jokes in the office because my current writer's room is in person and we're wearing masks. And so we were making jokes the other day about the bottom half of your face being painted or not because you got the mask on. Good times. Good times. Yeah. I do love some Rue.
Okay, nice. I do drag, so that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So last weekend, so it's kind of crazy. I heard that. I was like, I have to see who's her favorite drag queen is. So yeah.
I mean, this year's Angeria because she reminds me of me. And all my Southern, girls. So I'm here for her. But yeah, I really love Bob the drag queen.
Yes.
Again, like Alyssa Edwards, give me a Southern accent that is just so insane.
Right.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope. Nice.
What is your character, if I may ask? Who is your drag persona?
Her name is Diana Gray Adams. I'm a big fan of Marvel and DC. I love comics. So I chose Diana from Diana Prince, Wonder Woman's name. And I chose Gray for Jean Grey's name. And then Adams is my drag family's name. So yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is she a superhero?
She is a 90s supermodel.
Ooh.
She's a 90s supermodel trapped in a supernatural body.
Wow. Okay.
Because I like vampires and witches and stuff like that. And then I like 90s supermodels. And then, so yeah.
Nice.
I wrapped it all in a little box and, tied it up.
I love it. I mean, give me all the genres. Give me everything. Give me Naomi Campbell and Elvira. Is that the vibe?
Yes, that's the vibe. That's what I go for. I go for that, give you that 90s twist because I'm a 90s baby, but then also give you a little goth, a little horror, a little, je ne sais quoi.
Love it. I love my spooky drag.
Yeah. Also, you should check out Dragula.
Oh yeah, on Shudder. I have seen it. I haven't watched it yet. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll add it to my list.
Please do. I think you will love it, and I'll be expecting your review and who you love. I think if you like spooky drag and you already like drag, you'll really love Dragula because it showcases alternative drag, and that's what I love. We have RuPaul's Drag Race, and I love it, but I love being able to see other alternative drags get their spotlight and be able to tell their stories just like the queens on RuPaul. Everybody has a story. I was inspired by it, and that's why I do what I do. So yeah.
Nice. I'll check it out for sure.
His dance routines are
amazing.
Iconic.
Showstopper.
We're not doing that. We're not doing
that. With a link.
Okay.
So you gotta hit me with a link so I can see.
Okay, I will. I will send you some. Okay. All right.
You're trying to be humble, but
right.
Yeah.
He telling a story with them hands.
Cut it out.
Love it. I love it.
Avia, next.
Every time how you say it, it gets me every time. But have you seen any strides made for Black women behind the scenes since you've been in the film industry? Have you seen progress? How like steady progress at all?
I think there are definitely more of us. Like I said, like I've seen the progress in numbers, but I have also seen a lot of people, you know, burning out and leaving the industry or hitting like a glass ceiling, a black ceiling. I don't know what we should call that. But, you know, not being able to advance beyond a certain level because there are so few jobs at the top and they are already taken by people who have been around, you know, the same people who have been doing this forever. And even though we keep hearing stories about all these powerful white men and all the terrible things that they do, they still somehow keep getting these jobs at the top. So I have seen some, but I've also seen some steps backward, unfortunately. Is there a thing as a black ceiling? Did I make that up? Should I coin that phrase?
You should. You
All
should
right,
Trademark it.
Trademark it. Black ceiling.
Like,
Get
ooh,
your
that's kind of
coin
memoir. Call it now.
If you better than me,
More
Nadria,
right.
when I come up with good ideas, I literally tell folks to just take it. So you just
No,
go
I'll
ahead and
take that.
trademark it right now.
No, you could take it because I think it's a real thing. I think, you know, people will hire the diversity hires at staff writer level, at the low levels, and then you only get promoted to a certain extent, and then people are like, you stop getting job offers, or just the pool of spots becomes smaller, and therefore, you know, it's like, well, I already hired someone in my diversity spot, so I don't need another Black writer. And it's like, that's not really how it should work.
At all. Like,
Right.
Mike, you guys, well, that's
If we
That's-
keep it a buck for a second, can I say?
Yeah,
Am I
well,
allowed?
yeah, please.
Okay, the thing, if you like, because I mean, bringing up the concept of a black ceiling, you don't have to comment on it. I don't think I'm pressuring you or anything, but I just feel like, you know, from what I've seen, especially with like the way your story with you know, something kind of controversial this past year came up, you know, the way a few individuals, and by a few I mean like a lot, you know, kind of just pushed it to the wayside because, you know, there's a lot to unpack there, you know, with race, gender, and, you know, all this. I just, you know, I guess I'm basically commenting. It's just like, I really do see that, you know, compared to some of the other things, you know, that came out, you know, especially with that. It's just like, yeah, the black ceiling sucks. It sucks.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's real. And like, you know, I understand why people feel like they don't want to speak out when they are going through stuff, because I spoke out and like I did have people try to, you know, people block me from getting jobs that I would have otherwise gotten. But at the end of the day, like, no one wants to work where they're not wanted. And there are plenty of people who are willing to actually put their money where their mouth is when it comes to diversity and diverse storytelling, and not just paying lip service and doing the least.
Man, I'm so glad. Well, man, let me just keep it pushing, because I was about to go on a tangent that would run counterproductive to what this, because we want to have fun. We want to, you know, and I don't want Aaron to, you know, have a lot on his hands with editing, but I'll just say this, you know, I hate that your name isn't consistently put out there when people want to remind folks of the bullshit that happened. And I always hate that your name is not always up there first, because it's just as important. And I know that there are a lot of people who understand that and do so, but I genuinely hate that, because it's like, you know, like everyone else who's in this situation, you were working on something that's primarily meant to promote the virtues of diversity and inclusivity and understanding. And yet when you spoke out about how people were running counter to what you were working on, a lot of folks just kind of pushed you to the side, or, you know, as you just got done saying, took, you know, prevented you from getting the opportunities you've earned. So it's just like, it's like, well, I know what I'm not going to support moving forward with all of this. And again, I really just want to say how glad I am that people like you exist that speak up about this stuff, because not too many will inherently. And I am rooting for you 100% about anything and everything you do.
Well, thank you. And I know not everybody is willing to or able to risk a bag over something like representation in TV, but I was and I am, so I, you know, am able to, and so I did. And I just think it's really interesting to see the reactions and the difference between summer 2020 and now, like all the black squares, all the diversity promises, like whatever happened with any of that. Nothing really from these studios and networks, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. You know, let's get back to the light mood. I'm sorry to bring everybody down. So I'm going to ask this question. So, you know, horror, it sounds like that's like one of your major jams.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what is your least favorite horror trope? Something that just every time you watch it, and whether it's like a B horror movie or one of the quote unquote like masterpieces, what is the one thing you just cannot stand to see in a horror movie, or don't want to see at all in a horror movie?
There's so many. Like, and that's one of the reasons that Scream was so good, because it's like it did all of them and took them all down. But like, don't run up the stairs, go outside, you know, like, that's the basic one. And again, it's hard when you're writing something, it's hard to like make shit spooky, but also make people smart. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I'm in my actual house and I hear something weird at the other end of the house, like I'm probably just going to hide under my covers and not necessarily go investigate. But, you know, in movies, you kind of have to suspend disbelief, like I said, and go toward the weird sound and go toward the, you know, but yeah, don't go upstairs, go out the front door. I also hate it when like they're running and you fall down and break your ankle or whatever. And then you have to crawl, you know, and you're pulling. Don't do that one either. One of my favorite, I have a lot of favorite tropes though. I like the trope of like teenagers who are making out and then they get murdered. I love that. Can't get enough of that one. I actually really do enjoy the trope of like a Black person leaving the situation. I'm like, because it's real. Like, you know, especially after decades of being in these movies and having the Black person be the first person killed, which is another trope that I definitely dislike. You know, it's just, yeah, I like turning tropes on their head. And like I said, yeah, some of them are just classic and you got to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, what's another stupid one? I'm now thinking of everything, like in the mirror, you know, the medicine cabinet. You shut the medicine cabinet and there's somebody behind him. I love that. I don't know. It's stupid, but I love it. Like
that gets me that really anticipates whatever you're doing with your horror, because now I'm gonna be like, okay, which like, gonna have me like,
you look for all the tropes, they'll be in there.
Can't wait. That's gonna be a good one. You said Scream, so what's your favorite Scream?
Oh god, the first one, but I also like the Jada Pinkett one. The black one.
That's a good one.
I think, yeah, the first one, like the first sequence of the first one is just so fucking good. And it's just like, because you expect, Drew Barrymore, she's a huge star. She's going to survive the movie. And they just killed her so brutally. It was so good.
Mhm.
And I haven't seen the new one yet.
Ooh.
Is
Please
it good?
do. Yes,
Okay.
please. Yes.
I got to see it. I'm not going to the theaters, y'all. I can't do it. I can't. I'm not doing it yet. I can't do it. I'm going to a private screening with like a small group later in the month, and I am very nervous. So it might be a minute before I see some of these like only in theaters,
Right.
whatnot.
Take your time.
Yeah. Like put it on streaming so I can see it and be scared in the safety of my own home.
Exactly. How do you feel about the Conjuring series? Do you like that?
Love it. I love The Conjuring. I love that couple. I think I really like Annabelle and Stupid Doll. I think they should be a series, that couple, because like they have so many stories that you could do just based on the spooky stuff they have in their house at the end of that one movie. And again, there was one of those that was like a bad one in the series, but overall, I think that's a pretty good, fun series. I enjoy. Like, it's got the campiness, which I love. Like, and I'm a big campy fan as well. But yeah, it's got the campiness. It's got it's got the tropes. It's got the haunted doll. I mean, it's got everything. Another movie that I really enjoy recently was Malignant. I fucking love Malignant.
Yeah. We all like that.
Watched it. Yeah, we all watched
it. We all watched it, and we're like, what is happening? But yeah.
I'll never forget it. I was like, bro, I was telling my brother, I said, dude, you got to watch Malignant. And he's like, no, man, I had watched the first like 15 minutes. It looked like a DZ movie. I'm like, dude, you have to sit through it. And then I finally sat him down and I got to the part, and we all know what part I mean when I say that, towards the end. And he was like, you know what? I think I really do got to go back and rewatch this movie from the beginning. I'm like, yeah, I told you.
Clown.
Oh my God. It was so like, I was cracking up. It was so, because, oh my God, so good. It was perfect. Like there was an explanation for everything, and like it told you everything that was going to happen before it happened, and like, but not in a cheesy way. That was a good one. Yeah. But yes, I'm on the horror train right now. I got to get this thing done and written and sold so I can get it on y'all's TVs.
Yes.
So can you come back for when we do some Halloween stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I love Halloween. I'm in.
Let's get it.
I will watch all the horror movies. I'll talk about them. I'm into it.
Nice.
Let's go.
Right, because we all love horror.
How you feel about Rocky Horror Picture Show though?
Love it.
Period. Okay.
We have.
Let's get it.
Yep.
We also have some Lovecraft fans.
Yes, we do.
What
Lovecraft
do
Country
you think of
fans.
Lovecraft Country?
I really enjoyed Lovecraft Country. I was bummed that it didn't get picked up for another season. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And having read the book, I think it was such an improvement. And it really made the stories come to life and really took took Lovecraft and brought it to you from a Black perspective, just showing you the horrors of racism. And so I understand why some people did not like it. But I personally enjoyed it. And, Misha Green is one of my faves, and I will watch anything that she does. I can't wait for her. I think she's doing the Tomb Raider movie. She's writing that. So
I can't wait to see what she does with that, because I'm a big Tomb Raider fan, and it's crazy because it was the episode where they when they went to the museum and then they went underground and they was doing those puzzles. And me and Aaron did a podcast series called Lovecraft, To Lovecraft and Back. And when we talked about the episode, I said I literally can see it was giving me definitely Tomb Raider vibes, and the fact that it was announced that I was like, I'm ready for it. Like, I can't wait to see what she does with that, because her mind goes there.
Same. And, I'm really glad she made the jump over to features, because I feel like she's probably just minding her business, writing, and not dealing with, the drama that comes with working with television executives and producers on a daily basis. Like sometimes you just want to write for a little while and not have to deal with the drama. So I get it.
And indubitably. What are your thoughts on Scream 3?
Which one is 3? Is that the Jada one?
No, that's the one after that one.
Then no.
He did this on purpose.
He did it on purpose. He did
it on purpose. It's all good.
What are your thoughts on Hellraiser, the Hellraiser series?
Oh my God. I recently watched Hellraiser for the first time all the way through as a grown-up person, because like I feel like I had seen it in snippets on TV as a young person, and like obviously they cut a lot of shit out. And I didn't realize that it was just all about like sadomasochism and pleasure and pain and all that. I really enjoyed it for those reasons. No, I thought I'm really interested to see, like, because aren't they remaking it? And so I want to see what the new version will be, because I like the ideas in the original, but it doesn't really hold up in terms of like effects and all of that. It's just a little goofy looking these days. So I want to see the update, but I don't know if they can, on the other hand, like it's a lot to live up to. It's a cult classic, So I don't know if they can do that. I certainly wouldn't want to do it. Wouldn't want to try, because I know people will be like so pissed if you don't do it right. But I'm interested. I'll be watching for sure.
Awesome. I apologize, because this is going to make everybody mad, because this is a major point of contention. And I'm teeing this up now. This might be one of the most controversial questions you've ever been asked, but I feel a professional need to ask you this. So, what scenario would you rather be? Would you rather have to fight Chucky the living doll for 24 hours or Michael Myers for 24 hours?
Mike Myers. What? No, that's the answer.
Yes!
Then I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because when I was a kid, I had a wall of dolls in my room. Across from my bed. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this. A wall of dolls. And I got invited to like my first sleepover, and I go over there, and what movie are they screening but Child's Play? And so we watched this movie, and it scares, and I told you Candyman was the first movie that scared me, but like really this was, because I was like 10 when this one happened. I couldn't sleep that night. I had to my mom had to come get me from the sleepover. When I got home to my wall of dolls, it was like I had to move rooms. Like it was bad. It was very, very bad. And I would have nightmares about dolls coming to get me. So I will take Mike Myers. I will outrun his chunky ass.
Yes! Yes! That's what I've been telling these folks. You could. Thank you so much for proving my point. Thank you. This literally made my day. This is officially the greatest interview we've ever done. This is that was literally my argument. You can outrun Michael Myers. That can happen. So
yeah.
Another W for the good
there's
guys.
A whole so much other stuff going on there. It's like, okay. No. No.
What y'all got? Y'all got
anything? You worked up.
He's talking about what y'all you got what you wanted now. You got it.
Right.
Yeah, B.
I have one last question. So when you think of ideas to write, what is your writing process? What do you do? You listen to music? Do you meditate? What's your process when you think of ideas?
Typically in the very early stages, I'll start watching movies and TV from the same genre. So when I decided I wanted to do a Black family drama horror thing, I was like, okay, let me go rewatch Haunting of Hill House. Let me go rewatch some of these classics and get some inspiration. So that's where I start. And then I typically will like take notes and write down ideas for scenes until I get to the point where I feel like I can start making an outline. And that's when then I move to music and I start like building kind of a soundtrack in my head. And so I put that, you know, I listen to songs that kind of have the vibe. And sometimes I even write the songs into the script just to give like the reader a sense of the vibe, even though that's not going to be the actual song necessarily. It's like, okay. And then, yeah, just keep fleshing out the outline until it's like long enough to be a script, basically. Just keep adding and adding and adding.
Cool.
And yeah, I love to write to music. I love to write to movie soundtracks. I love to write to rap. I know a lot of people don't like to write to music with lyrics, but I love rap because it's just like, give me your words. Can I have all your words that you're saying? Like, I want them. Like, I want to be, you know, it's just inspiring. So yeah. And that's when I get in my flow state. And that's the writing that I enjoy the most is, you know, when you're actually doing the thing and focused on it and got your music going and yeah.
Nice.
That's excellent.
I love that.
See, now I'm all
I think I got
to
one
write
more.
again.
Do it.
Right. Yeah, like you know me, but I love the fact that you said you like to listen to music because that's one thing that I do. I played in the band and concert band. I took that along with me and used like writing with music. So yeah, I appreciate you said that. What's one thing that you can tell somebody that is probably going to be in the same field as you, but how can I say it? With your experience, how can you encourage somebody to continue whatever goal and passion that they have?
I would say the thing that I keep coming back to is a Beyonce lyric. A winner don't quit on themselves. Like, that's it. Like, and I play that before every meeting that I go to. If I, you know, I'm like, it's just don't quit on yourself because the only one you really have is you. When it comes to, you know, the professional creative pursuits, like you're your own best fan and the only one who will truly be behind you 100%. So if you know, you got to keep that inner confidence because people will try to tear you down and this industry will try to tear you down. But, you know, a winner does not quit on themselves, as Queen Bee told us. And that is the truth.
Yes. Yes.
Period.
So she's in the beehive too.
Yes.
Today.
Renaissance woman.
Drag race for and Beyonce.
Queen behavior right there.
You know?
I don't want
stand.
today. I appreciate that.
Yes.
You know, 'cause just doing what you do in your experience, that people will receive that for real. So thank you for sharing your story.
Of course. And yeah, thanks for having me again. It's always a good time. I love being on here and I would love to come back for Halloween and talk, like get serious about some spooky stuff, get into these debates on which killer I would rather be killed by.
But she's definitely coming for the horror bracket.
Yes.
Yes.
You tried to play us with these.
Wait.
You tried to play us.
What I do? How I get in this? What I do?
We still had it up. Do we still have it up right now? Hold on.
No,
let's see.
we don't.
It's
been gone.
Oh, okay.
I did not try to play nobody. I put up I put up very fair and concise picks for those things.
Cooking the books.
You is messy and
the
and they were all fairly distributed, by the way, as far as points went. It was
so I can see who's the scammer out of the group then. I'm getting a sense of the dynamics here.
Right. Yep.
I don't know. I mean, you know, just based on these interactions.
Here's the law.
No, like I said, I support Black scammers.
Period.
Well, I'll just put it to you like this: not all Black scammers are built the same, so don't support all of them. Don't support all the
point.
black scammers.
Good
You just start off with me. I'll try to be a good
Oh my
litmus,
gosh.
but there's some black scammers out there that just don't. They'll bring everybody down. So
That's fair.
Man.
The dark side of parody and scamming.
Right, 'cause I'm kidding. Happy Black History Month, everybody.
Do you want to leave us with anything? Tell the people once again who you are and everything, and just intro us out if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm Nadria Tucker, and I really enjoyed talking with everybody here today. And as a parting word, I would like to tell everybody out there, if you're doing something creative, keep doing it, keep doing you, and do not listen to people who are trying to bring you down because, you're your biggest fan.
facts. That's factual.
Oh, and she got
Hey.
Okay, let's
Oh,
get
shimmy.
yes, we live.
And as her new favorite scammer, she would also like to say that
Oh
she
my God.
absolutely
Let it go.
enjoy.
Let it
Fine,
go.
I'll let it go. The rule of 3. I probably already hit that. So
You hit
in
the
any
rule of
case.
6 today.
In any case, thank you guys so much for watching us interview, talk to, chop it up, have fun with Nadria Tucker. We are, of course, Muldiversity. You know where to find us because Mike doesn't like doing the individual outros anymore. In any case, we have been Muldiversity. That has been Nadria Tucker, and we will see y'all later.
Yes.
Say peace.
Crowd her now.
Peace.
Oh, man.
Ooh.